Your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Just look at that beautiful sunset if pictures could talk, and talk about the incredible weather that we had today. That's a perfect end to an incredible day where temperatures made it back up into the 50s. That's a roofing dog I met. Adams Memorial's camera tonight. Now it's obviously cooling down as the sun is setting. We're down to 43. Still holding on to a strong 50 over in Springfield right now. Some really nice weather with clear skies for now, but a few clouds are going to be building in. We've actually got a cold front that is going to move through overnight into early tomorrow. We're going to see a big change there. As a matter of fact, the weather this week stays very calm for us with readings here that are going to remain above average pretty much the entire 7-day. We'll talk more about that when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
A woman says she was held hostage by her ex-boyfriend. What she says kept her alive. And price gouging may be happening in central Illinois. What the state is doing to try and help with huge power bills.
Also tonight, he was one of the youngest ever to get an engineering degree at the U of I. How this 19-year-old topped that 1 year later.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Never in my life thought it would be me. Never.
But it was. A Champaign woman is opening up about the night she says her ex-boyfriend held her hostage and shot her. Good evening. I'm Jessica Coons in for Paul.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. This happened almost 2 weeks ago. Lamont Jackson is now facing charges for aggravated domestic battery and attempted murder. Police say he wouldn't let his ex-girlfriend leave her house for 6 hours. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting live in our newsroom. Courtney, you talked to her. How is she doing?
Well, Jennifer, she's just trying to move on from the nightmare she went through. Madison Harper was trapped inside her home, wondering if she'd live to see the next day. She didn't want to go on camera with her injuries, but still wanted to share her story.
Pretty sure my body went numb. I had no feeling.
Some say every day is a gift. But for Madison Harper, that reality is even clearer. The 28-year-old ended things with her ex, Lamont Jackson, 2 years ago. They have 2 kids together, and they were staying with him on February 12th.
Later that evening, he had texted me and asked me if he had got a babysitter, would I would meet him to have a couple of drinks, and I told him no.
But a few hours later, he broke into her house.
I just heard a really big bang, like it was, I had no idea what it was. All I seen was a red laser from his gun coming straight at me, and he just came in and asked me if I thought it was a game.
Your relationship is what he meant?
I guess. I don't know. He had been trying to get back with me, and I just, no, I didn't want it. I got the life beating out of me with his gun. He broke my cheekbone. He got two spots on my head.
And she says he shot her in the leg. Harper says there was one thing that kept her going through those hours.
I thought about my kids. I seen my kid's face, and I will say that until it's my time to go. That's the only thing that got me out.
Eventually, Jackson fell asleep, and Harper was able to grab her phone and text a friend to call 911. She got out and hopes her story gives others in bad relationships the courage to leave.
Don't stay, don't try, go, seek help. That's where I messed up. I tried. I stayed, and I shouldn't have.
Harper tells me her support system of family and friends also helps keep her going. As far as the charges Jackson will face and what she hopes the outcome is, she told me she just hopes he gets what he deserves, whatever that may mean. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Such a terrifying story. All right.
Absolutely.
Courtney, thank you. Now, we talked to someone with Dove Incorporated. It's a group that helps domestic violence victims in Decatur. They say there are resources for people looking for ways out of abusive relationships. They can also help you create a safety plan for when you feel comfortable to leave. We have more information about them and other resources on our website. Just go to WCIA.com. U.S. Marshals arrested a Mississippi teenager in Urbana. Investigators say he was involved in a triple murder. Marshals found 19-year-old John Morton at the Courtesy Motel on Vine Street. Investigators say 3 men were killed and another hurt in a shooting earlier this month. It happened at a nightclub. Another person was already arrested and charged with the murders.
We have an update from Sangamon County tonight. We now know the name of a teenager shot and killed in Grandview. 17-year-old Malachi Williams was one of 2 teens who were shot last Thursday. The sheriff says someone drove a car into a ditch and the windshield was shot out. No word on how the other teenager is doing. Authorities have a 16-year-old suspect in custody. A man is accused of stabbing a woman in Altamont. It happened on Saturday at St. Clair and Adams Streets. Police say there was a fight between 2 groups there. A 27-year-old woman was stabbed. Her sister punched in the face. Both are expected to be okay. At that home, police found meth. Investigators now say Blake Miller is charged with attempted murder, Christina Anderson with battery, and Jesse Fisher is facing drug charges. We have a follow-up tonight. Small towns in central Illinois are accusing gas companies in Texas of price gouging during an emergency. Now the state is stepping in to offset the cost with short-term loans. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell is live in Springfield. Mark, it all started last week during that severe cold winter storms in Texas.
Jessica, when bitter cold froze gas wellheads in Texas, small towns in Illinois urged homeowners, turn your temperature down, use your gas sparingly. Many homeowners did just that, conserving those resources and natural gas during a time until those gas companies could get their supply back online. But still, while several of the small towns and villages stayed below their limit without going into the penalty or fine area, the gas companies still stuck them with massive price hikes. In many cases, the gas companies charged 100 times higher than they normally do, leaving small villages like Pawnee with a massive bill and no one to pick up the tab except their own neighbors.
My first concern was the seniors and the lower income. Nobody can afford this right now. Nobody can. People don't have jobs. People aren't working. Businesses are only partially opened. Nobody can afford this.
The mayor there says homeowners in Pawnee could see their gas bills jump not 100 times, but maybe $3 to $10 more a month over the next 3 to 5 years. That can level off and help them pay this big bill back. They're still obligated to pay these higher rates, so the state and the Illinois Financial Authority, a big building here in downtown Springfield, they are giving low-interest loans to help those cities and towns pay that steep bill off. Several other states also dealing with this same sticker shock. There are members of Congress right now calling for a federal investigation into these gas companies. Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Mark, thank you.
When it comes to COVID here in Illinois, the positivity rate continues to inch down. It is now at 3%. Public Health did report more than 1,600 new cases. 27 more people have died. More than 43,000 have been vaccinated. The 7-day rolling average is almost 56,000. More than 2.2 million doses have now been given out.
It's that time of year when your car's suspension gets a workout. What lawmakers are doing to try to find money to help the problem.
And also tonight.
I think one semester I took 27 credits of courses, or 28 credits.
That's almost double what college students normally take. Now this 19-year-old is almost to his master's. Meet the phenom a little later.
Kevin, today smelled like spring. I heard birds chirping.
Yes.
Such a treat.
The smell of spring.
Bring it.
I like it. It was gorgeous out there today, and it's been a while since we've been this warm. And look at this, painting. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous shot. 53 officially. Coming back. How long does it last? We'll talk about it.